7 bolševických divízií pri Pologi uviazlo v neprehlasiteľnej obruči spojeneckých vojsk. Na presvedčivom víťazstve majú veľký podiel aj naši vojaci. Delostrelecká príprava.
Slowakische Truppen stürmen Barrikaden im Zentrum der Stadt.
What's up, Fresh Coast Gaming fans? We're here at Gamers Sanctuary for a bolt action battle report. We're playing 1,250 points. We're using the boltaction.net format. You can see I have my Slovak Rapid Division here on my nice tote top thing. Start off, I have a first lieutenant here. Everything in my force is regular, so he's a first lieutenant. I have a medic, an artillery observer, a squad of 12 cavalry. These are regular guys. They can't charge. They have rifles. That's about it. I paid for a Pack 38. I forgot the model, so that's going to be a Pack 38. I have a sniper team. These are the dismounts for the cavalry. I have 4 squads of 12 infantry with 1 LMG. And I'm using the Romanian rules, I guess I should say. I'll put up my list, but the Pack 38 is actually free with the Romanian rules. I have an RSO tractor to pull a piece of artillery. I have a medium mortar with spotter, medium howitzer with spotter, Panzer 38T, regular, and then I also have a truck. Gotta go grab the truck. So a lot of regular guys, some cavalry. It's kind of a basic force. So let's check out my opponent for today. It's Robert. He has British Airborne, and we're going to be playing on a big Russian table. So we'll check that out in just a second.
A few years ago, Russia invented a new kind of military force. Parachute troops, who could be dropped by plane over enemy territory to attack in the rear, create panic, and commit sabotage. Many smiled at the idea, but the France of those days, never slow to try anything new, took up troops into the air and let them down. Then Germany set about training paratroops on the grand scale, which aided them in the Nazi policy of aggression. Followed the United States, which gave them the once-over and set out to train a parachute army. And then, to the delight of we ordinary blokes of Britain, came the news that we have our own paratroops. In fact, they've already given Italy a pain in her foot. Makes you think, don't it? There's a funny side to all this grim business. Hitler actually accuses Britain of infringing his patent. I suppose it is his patent since he only pitched the idea. And now, with pleasure, we present the first pictures of British paratroops in the making and made. Of course, a big consideration is physical fitness. The men must be as hard as steel. It's no good trying to scotch Hitler's war machine with wooden pegs. They're fine chaps before they start their physical training course, and when they finish, they are, without doubt, the finest body of men in the universe.
So let's take a look at Robert's list. He has 2 platoons. He has a second lieutenant in each one, and everything's veteran, right?
Second lieutenants are regular.
Oh, okay. But the
Air observers or artillery observers are regular. Airborne units, 2 8-man squads are veteran.
He has 2 Tetrarch light tanks. Those are regulars. He has 2 MMG Jeeps, sniper team, ATR team, anti-tank rifle, a light mortar, medium mortar, MMG, and a light howitzer.
Clearing a charge from him.
With spotters on
With
each.
spotters for both of those, because I think you're kind of crazy not to bring a spotter. All right, so we'll check back once we've deployed. All right, so you can see we're on a Russian farm here in the Ukraine somewhere. Robert's guys have been paradropped from Britain to help their allies out. So we have a train on this side of the board, and then kind of a river down the middle, and the farm is on either side of it. You can see on my side I have medium howitzer, artillery spotter, rifle squad with an LMG, rifle squad with an LMG. My sniper and my other guys, the spotters, are going to set up using infiltration or forward deployment, however you call it. I have a medic, my AT gun, my boss, first lieutenant, rifle squad LMG, medium mortar. Underneath, I have a cavalry team squad, rifle squad, a truck, a tow, and a Panzer 38T. So 10 things on the board, 5 off the board. And you can see we have 1 objective here, 1 objective here, and 1 here. If Robert controls 2 of them, he wins. He controls 1, I believe he gets a draw. So we're playing point defense straight out of the bolt action rulebook. We are using the boltaction.net composition, I guess you could say. All right, so check back after turn 1. Robert's stuff is all in first wave, which means he can bring them on. So we're finished with turn 1. You can see all the British people have come on their side of the board. Robert actually sniped off one of my sniper guys on my team. So I no longer have a team, it's just 1 guy, which is pretty good. I did bring in an artillery strike. I put it right there, so hopefully it'll come in. He has a squad, and a big squad there, squad there. I think you still have 1 in reserve, right?
1 in reserve and a tank team in reserve.
And then the 2 tanks, the Tetrarch and the Tetrarch right there. My tank is off the board still. Tried to range in on that squad over there with the medium howitzer and missed. And tried to range in on his mortar with my mortar and missed. Oh yeah, and he popped smoke right here, right in front of the river. So let's see what happens. Turn 2. All right, so we just finished turn 2. Robert's moving up his guys on my right flank over here. He's moved up the Tetrarch as well. These guys went down after they tried to activate. They have 3 pins. Same idea here. They have 3 pins. His laser-guided mortars are dropping smoke everywhere. 2 6s to drop his smoke, blocking my line of sight here. The mortars, my artillery really didn't do anything this turn. The artillery piece I dropped in, though, off-board artillery, blew up an MMG and put a bunch of pins out. That was pretty nice. His guys have moved into the building in the middle of the board. Otherwise, a general advance over here, took some shots at my snipers, didn't really do anything. And that was about it. He has called in 2 artillery strikes because he has 2 free artillery guys. So 1 right in the middle of my line and 1 on my right flank. I still have 5 units off the board. The tank actually failed its check to come on. Alright, so overall view of the table here. And we'll see if these artillery strikes come in. So we finished turn 3. Robert dropped some more smoke in the middle of my guys, moved his Tetrarch over here. Biggest thing was he took off my squad of infantry here by pinning them out, so he did 9 pins. He's advancing on this objective on my right flank. I did bring in a reserve squad. I have cavalry and a tank left, and he's got kind of an advance up the middle here too as well. So let's see what's going to happen. A lot of shooting over here, but not much happened on that side of the board. Alright, so we just finished turn 4. It was really good first half of the turn for Robert, and then not so good of a second half, I guess you could say. He took off another squad over here from pins, so I lost 2 full infantry squads, I do have my cav in reserve and my tank. He did, I think he landed an artillery strike last turn, was it?
Yep.
Yeah, and it killed some guys, and it put a bunch of pins on some guys. But I did bring these guys in from reserve, so they're out here. He is pushing up on my right flank with no pins on anything pretty much. In the middle, he moved up 2 paratrooper squads. I landed a medium howitzer shot after they had activated, so that blew out 1 squad, and then these guys shooting over here pretty much decimated another squad. So, it's kind of, we traded here some damage, and my sniper is still alive, and then Robert's moving his guys up to try to do a late game push. So we're on to turn 5. I was a little worried. I'm still worried, obviously, but it's not, all is not lost yet. So Robert's whittling me down here. I don't have a whole lot of order dice left. I did bring on my cavalry. They're dismounted because they shot. They don't have carbines, they just have rifles. They did a lot of hits but only took off 1 paratrooper, so that's really bad. I hope I can get out of that. He did recce his Jeep here, and he's moving up across that flank. This is turn 6, so he's got to get to the objective, because if we end, then he's not going to even draw. So he has a good chance here in the middle. On this side, it's pretty well protected. That squad weathered a ton of fire, including, I think, a pack howitzer, 75 millimeter. But, my whole middle's gone, my right flank was gone, and I did do some damage this turn, but not very much at all. Alright, turn 6. My tank still hasn't come on. My truck and my tow aren't going to come on. They're staying off. Alright, so turn 6. Robert pulled up and did a lot of wounds to me. I did assault with my cavalry guys and killed one of his squads, but he managed to pin them down pretty well and take a lot of guys off the board. He does have some guys. They're not within 3 yet, but they can get there this turn because we rolled and we have another turn. He assaulted with his tank here and took out my rifle squad, so he owns that one with a artillery observer. No, that's your officer. Some guy. And then he has an artillery observer here in my backfield ready to do some more damage as well. He pinned out this unit pretty well. They have 5 pins on them with no sergeant, so not likely to activate. And my tank didn't come on, so hopefully he comes on this turn. We'll see. Alright, so we're at the end of turn 7. Robert moved up and took this objective with his lieutenant, and this one with an artillery observer. I did assault over here with my cavalry and killed those infantry, but it wasn't enough. My tank finally came on, did something like 5 hits with his machine guns on that team, and no kills even though they're regulars. So that dude is getting a new paint job, and that tank's being sent to the rear for security duty. So that was fun. That was a very close game. I think Robert's going to need a new shirt because he sweated through it. So from Gamer Sanctuary, have a good one.